Whoa. There we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, the gameplay ability system plugin, and all of that good stuff. Today we're going to continue with our projectile pooling system. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we're going to do damage and stuff like that, because I want to finish up first the homing data. And I'm still curious if it needs to be its own function, or you can optionally make it homing or not, or if it should just be part of the data asset, I think, or just as part of the base function or something like that. So we'll see how that continues. But yeah, I want to test out the homing timeout and the DOT threshold to see if it will work. So I want to double check all of the homing. So we have our enemy. We have homing technically working. I guess we can watch it in slow motion. We can see how it spins around, right? So let's test this further. I want to just make sure all the properties work. And we have two properties for now. There's going to be a timeout, and then there's going to be a DOT threshold. So a dot product threshold. So let's do that. So we have our homing properties. We have pretty fast acceleration for now, which is fine. So we're going to go into our properties. I believe we're just going to be in the base of the projectile. We're going to need a couple of timers, because I don't know if I want to do it on tick. Like, I technically have it on tick. Maybe it's okay. Where we could say, hey, is it on DOT threshold or timeout? Maybe there needs to be an array of disabling rules. So you could, I guess it should be an array. But let's see. Let's do one at a time. So let's assume on tick for now, right? So we're gonna say if I don't want to do that on tick. I don't want to, query if the projectile movement component is valid or not. So yeah, I'm gonna make timers. Fuck it. So this can be private. We already have some timers. So we're gonna do U property F timer handle. We're gonna say, so projectile homing timeout timer. One like that. Another one, U property F timer handle projectile homing dot check. We will have two timers. So let's take out this for now. So ideally the projectile won't actually do any ticking. So we're gonna go into where we're doing our homing data. It's actually a projectile homing data, right? So if we're seeing, hey, are we homing? Are we valid? Cool. Then we would just need to say, what do we want to say? If the camera's shaking a lot for some reason, yeah, I could see why. It's not super stable, and it's while I'm typing. Yeah, real life camera, no. So hopefully that's a little better. And it's just because it's not stable. So we gotta say if in projectile human data, not like that though. It's better. Awesome. Could be something rule, right? Homing disable rule equals. Oops. I want to set a timer. We already do a timer, I think. I just need to remember the syntax. Oh. I make a few function as well. We're going to say void. That. Do that. So the rate. Are there any other properties that we want to do? First delay. No. So in loop. True. Now we'll just do a simple 1/10 of a second rate. And we need to make it like this. Oops. Oh my goodness. Why is it copying it like that? My God. Okay. And then we need to, what properties do we have? Dot threshold, right? So if target actor and then we want to do the dot product, which I think I was handling it like this, right? So I'm just going to do it like that. So hello dot product, get horizontal dot product 2. That if, and then we got to just grab the data. And I would assume I need to copy some of the information because, you know, we're instantiating it with this, but we're not really making a copy, I guess. And maybe I should, unless copying that is unnecessary, who knows? Let's see. So we have the homing data right here, right? So I'm already doing that, but it might. So I should probably just say like that. And then just from now on, just use that. Not sure if that's the best way, but we're going to do it that way. I mean, I guess the dot threshold doesn't matter. By the time we get here, it should be safe and assumed that we want to be doing it. So we should be able to just say pretty much this, right? And then we could just say now the timer. All right, good. Now we need a way excuse me. We need a safe method to handle a bunch of the end of life stuff. So maybe return object to pool is valid. Maybe like that. Let's see. So what I'm hoping what's happening now is if we do have the option for handling it with a dot threshold, it will do the ticks and stuff and check the DOT threshold and turn it off when it gets past the target. And so you won't get like the circular homing behaviors if you don't want that. You can also make the homing really strong, but you know. It's like a pick your poison kind of thing. Let's see if that worked. So yeah, we have lifetime, all that information, use gravity, no, and then the homing data. So we have DOT threshold will be 0. Let's make the speed kind of slow. Hopefully we'll be able to observe everything. So we're gonna shoot. Okay. So we're gonna shoot. Okay. Maybe we need to make this faster. I'm going to shoot over here. Okay, so we for sure aren't getting not getting the behavior I was hoping for. So let's see what's wrong. So do we get here? We do. So now do we ever get here, I guess? No. Do we get here? We don't. So this tells me target actor is invalid. So my assumption here, yeah, so it seems like I'm not instantiating it like that. So I need to say probably from the top. So target actor equals that. And target actor is like this, so then I should just be able to go like that, I hope. So let's see. When I was in Sweden over the weekend, I picked myself up a old school PlayStation controller. I will eventually get a PlayStation 1 and use it, but until then, Just got the controller. Found it at a thrift shop. Thought it was worth picking up, you know? You never know when you're going to find those again. I also got a new monitor that I need to hook up over the weekend. Too lazy to do it during the week. So the assumption here is we will eventually get to this. Let's try again. So we're going to shoot this. Yes. So let's look. Yeah. So it curves, which is fine. It's to be expected. So we don't get that circling behavior, which is fine. But now, yeah, we can make this negative 0.5, for example. Do we see changed behavior? It should curve. Yeah, perfect. So now I want to try with timeout. Now we need to set it up for timeout. So let's also get rid of the functions that we don't need anymore. And we don't really need tick anymore. So we can never tick, good. Stuff, we don't need this. That. Eventually get rid of that and that as well eventually. So yeah, let's that's also for bounces and stuff like that. We'll have to figure that out later. What else? There's a red thing down here. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we need this. Begin play will eventually be something else. We check dot targeting and then we're going to do a timeout. For projectile homing, movement data dot. Do a same timer, so we already have the timer handled, but we just need to make the U function call back. And maybe the same thing for the dot would be the same, right? So that, and then validate that one like that, and now we literally just need to set the same timer. Put the right timer handle in. That, and then call the right function. That loop is false. And that should be good. So let's compile that. And yeah, we can start thinking about the stuff that we want to do for the return to pool as well. So if projectile homing time that is valid, validate, want to do but just do safety measures here as well. We could say if and then we would say basically just reset all possible flags for homing to start, but also other aspects of the visuals. So we will do that too. So we might have to just maybe reset everything back to 0 so nothing kind of carries over. But yeah. So we have timeout. So I'm going to say 0.2. And let's see if homing. Let's put a breakpoint on disable homing. I need to recompile. I'm going to do this. Yeah, so it also handles itself. So let's quickly just do a couple things for returning pool. Okay. I don't know how much this is necessary, but we're just gonna do it. We're gonna say, what are the other components that we have? Then eventually I need to return it actually to the pool itself. So I should have a helper function, but I would also need to obtain it to add return projectile to pool. So I should hopefully be able to do this within the projectile itself. I'm gonna copy some of this. That should handle it. Yeah, and at the very end, I always forget the syntax. Figure this out wild style. Do projectile cooling system. Not get instance, but We do like a safety. We would probably want to log this at some point. Let's just do it now. Hopefully that's valid. Hopefully that's okay. And then back in the polling system, we should just be able to do this. We can handle some baseline stuff like that in here, but I'd say projectile stuff itself should be able to handle the stuff per component, so. Hopefully that's okay. So we have the visual component, the diagram component, the audio component as well. Maybe they should be also responsible for activating and deactivating it. So when we instantiate visual data, for example, we can also then just say projectile visual like that, and same thing here, it already activates. I don't know if I need to make these things deactive. Let's just see how much breaks after we do this shit. Oh, does that set auto activate? Let's do set auto activate instead. So now when we instantiate everything, we also say activate and then deactivate. So activate, 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 and then same thing here. Okay. Same thing here, we'll activate it. We could just say if Okay, safety measure. So that should all be okay. We did just write a lot. So there's other stuff that I want to make sure we do when we return everything to the pool. Hey, Coding Banana. I'm doing good. How are you? Hope your Tuesday's good. Uh, um, I need to remember the syntax. So on component hit. Okay. So let's get rid of you for sure. So when we instantiate everything, we eventually get to the collision, right? We'll do something like that too. If, oh, I guess, whoops. If is that the right syntax? Let's see. Wonder if that's okay. Let's see what happens. So we just did a bunch of cleanup for when our projectile ends and returns to the projectile pool. So the only place that we're really not... I guess now we should see some visualization of it, right? Because like... on hit, we get what? There should be a specific event, right? On hit. So on hit implementation of blah, 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 blah. So on hit, right? So that we eventually call this and the broadcast of the delegate. Yeah, I'm guessing we get to on this here, right? So then we eventually get to return. So we're gonna want to clean up this on hit thing. There's on projectile hit event, and then on projectile hit. It seems to be a redundant call, honestly. So we'll see what happens, like everything else. I think there's also another timer that I'm missing, lifetime timer as well. I guess not when it's on hit. It does it anyway, but we'll add that check too. One thing at a time. So let's see if the arrow will visually disappear after hitting. Yes. Cool beans. Now, does it also do the same after it expires? Yes. So now, let's make sure we add our impacts here. For now, it's just magic fireball impact. The radius for collision could probably be smaller. We get half the size. Excuse me. I'm still learning game development. The more I learn UE, C++, the easier it looks. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to very high level programming, this could be coming from experience, but it's pretty straightforward after a while. As long as you know what you're trying to do. Knowing what you're trying to do is the hardest part. The second hardest part is then organizing how you want to do it, and then the third part is just writing it. You know, so the more you practice, obviously, like anything else, the better you're gonna get. So I'm happy that it's getting easier, and it's looking easier. I'm sort of on that boat as well. Sometimes I look at stuff and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but still. A fire trail. So let's see if we get our visuals working. Yep. And we have the expired impact. Boom. Looks cool. Do we get it also when we hit? Okay. So it's not colliding with an enemy. So we found a first issue with that. Also, I want to remove. Let's construct everything better now. We don't need homing. So I guess in theory we could just do this. You had a little roller coaster of stuff. I mean, you know, when you start out, there's so much you don't know. And then you learn a lot. You start to feel comfortable. And then you learn that there's so much more you don't know. And so you learn more. Then, you know, yeah, and like you're saying, it's a spiral. Okay, so that's colliding. Yeah, we're also not updating our warp target. Yeah, so basically after the first projectile, it's not working. So something tells me we're doing something on return to pool that we aren't doing when we bring it in. Maybe it's the sphere radius? Let's see, collision data. I'm hoping we eventually get there. what should we do? It's complaining a lot, but you know, it should be working fine. As long as you don't give up, it's okay. At least that's what I tell myself. That's how I fall asleep every night. I'm like, ah, tomorrow will be better. I'll be better tomorrow. So if you've given up multiple times, but have always come back to it, then you haven't truly given up. You've just been taking breaks, you know, taking modest breaks. Or maybe it's the on hit that I don't. Oh. So maybe I don't bind correctly. So I assume we get this the first time, but maybe not the second. Let's see. We do get there. Are we drawing? We do have the collision shape. Yeah, we're also breaking that. So maybe remove all is not the play. Excuse me. Okay. Hopefully that was what the issue was. We're gonna find out the hard way. Okay. So let's spawn a dude. Let's them throw a projectile at me. Does it burst? Okay, so it doesn't break. I guess I have to just have a better safety for when it's not a pooled thing, but so one. Yeah, still a problem. Oops. I've also noticed that the lifetime expires even if I hit someone. Like, for example, one, boom. So something is also not working there. So when we get to on hit, Like, it should invalidate this. Is there like a... Does loop... And we clear it. Let's see what's wrong with this. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Oh. Okay. So I gotta say something like, stop changing it to is running, please. We have to do it. So is there a version of this that's clear and invalidate? So that's one thing. So essentially I'm going to do that in a bunch of places. But what's wrong with the collision? I guess we can debug it. Yeah, let's just compile that first. Let's just look at the collision settings after we know it doesn't work. We pray. Let's see. So first we'll check. So did you like Dragon Dogma 2's combat system? I did. I liked all the different classes you could do. It was interesting to see how you could combine some of them, or like how they let you combine stuff, like the Archmage or the Mage Archer, and there was like apparently there was one class where that mixed all the classes together, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, in general, like I did prefer in the end playing ranged, just because sometimes you would just get the fucking wailed on. Like you could parry, I guess, as a warrior, but that was kind of difficult. It was fun to pull off when it did happen, though. And you know, being able to, I guess, upgrade those special abilities and stuff. I never really had a desire to really dig into those abilities. I kind of just picked random ones and just upgraded them the whole way and just, you know, spammed them and used them. I never found a need to change anything. So whatever just caught my eye first, I just upgraded, and then, you know, after you increase the level of the vocation and stuff, you unlock more stuff, but I just never found the need to upgrade it anymore. And you know, you can always kind of fill in the blanks with the rest of the party. So I always had a stacked party with like a healer, another archer, and another warrior, and I just really didn't have a problem. I liked the climbing a lot. That was pretty cool. You could do some assist abilities and stuff like that, and you know, assist. You know, obviously your allies can assist you, throw you up, so you can grab onto enemies and fight from that. But yeah, sometimes, like especially these like magic stone enemies, they really fucked me up. Like they had these like laser shit, and it just messed me up. And then with the final boss, I went through like all of my wake stones, and then I realized it wasn't the final boss. But yeah, the healing and stamina system was pretty basic, honestly. Nothing too special. A lot of the gearing system, all I really cared about was making numbers go up. I think that's all it really was. I don't recall there being anything unique with the inventory items like gear to grant certain abilities or any passives. It was mostly just numbers. So just in general, I thought it was a good time. What you played it too, right, Talos? Did you like it? Maybe I have to do like a breakdown video of the combat system, because it's hard. I don't want to say it's basic, but like nothing stands out too much on it. All right, so let's see. Do we get the expiry? No, perfect. And yeah, now it doesn't work, right? So yeah, let's look at you. So projectile component, sphere radius checks out. Yes, it's a projectile. So to me, it looks valid. Let me put on hit. Oh, we got ourselves a bot in chat. Goodbye. So how long does it get to get to there? I love the game, especially the first one. There's so much praise for combat, but to be completely honest, I don't think it's good enough to justify all the praise it gets. I could see that. Like, I guess it just depends on the type of combat that you want. Because, like, with the basic abilities that you get with some of the classes, you don't really get to do anything special. Like, there's no expression with the different weapons. Like, you just have the same kind of basic moves and special moves. And, you know, to be fair, like, I don't know how much expression I'm really gonna have with mine. But, you know, the it was basically, you know, the warrior, you know, basic melee attack and a heavy pierce attack. For a greatsword, the greatsword had some interesting mechanic that I want to copy for for my class, where if you do the timed inputs correctly, you can swing it faster and kind of keep the momentum and deal more damage over time. But there wasn't, I guess, more arcadey aspects of it, where you can have different combos and different combo exits and branches and stuff like that to do all these different kinds of things. I kind of just relied on those special abilities to do those kinds of things. So I want to know why. So what happens again? So we call return to projectile, right? So when we get to on hit, what do we do? So on lifetime expired, on projectile hit. So we do this timer. And then we get a bunch of stuff. We spawn things, yada, yada, yada. But then we just get to here, right? So we get to all of that. We stop movement immediately, homing target stuff. And projectile movement component activate. You got a meowing kitty over here. So I'm gonna say, at the very least, let's try that. Alternatively, maybe it's somewhere here. I do need to play the first Dragon's Dogma. But right now I'm working on... excuse me. I'm working on Horizon Forbidden West. Excuse me. And I'm working on... I'm playing Rage on the Xbox One. And on the Steam Deck, I'm still playing through Haste every once in a while. But I started playing, I think it's called Dicey Dungeon. Die in the Dungeon. Well, there's two games. There's Dicey Dungeons that I'm playing, and then there's Die in the Dungeon. Die in the Dungeon's pretty good. I like that one a lot. I'm trying to still learn the ins and outs of it, but it's pretty cool. For example, you could see a lot of people saying it has the best mage gameplay. I understand what they mean by that. Casting tornadoes and meteor strikes really delivers that powerful mage fantasy. However, the gameplay itself is quite poor. Most of the time, you're just moving away from enemies, holding the buttons until a bar fills up. Yeah. Like, if you can make spellcasting a more active thing, that could be pretty cool. But I don't know how gimmicky it would be, depending on how active you make it for the player. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is if you played Helldivers 2. I forget what the stuff is called, but basically you have this thing on your arm. You type in all the arrows and the directions to bring down, I think, ordnance or do something like that. So it would be maybe interesting if you cast spells. You know, you have to. Okay. So I know it's not. No, it's not that. No. What happens if we don't return it to the pool? Oh yeah, let's see if that made a difference. Then we'll know it's something that we're doing when we're turning it to the pool. Seems like it. So do we, I assume we're setting actor collision. At some point. So when we add, so we're adding the actor back to the pool. So yeah, I think all of this is fine. But yeah, are we ever doing this? Instantiate. Instantiate from data. I don't think we are. Well, here. So I'm hoping we get there. But the content of the current frame differs from the cloud content. So what is the potential order of operations here? So let's look. So spawn and claim. So we're setting all this information. And we call this. Then we eventually get to that, right? Now, in projectile movement data, we eventually tell it to activate. So seems like that's redundant that we're doing it elsewhere as well. So I'd rather do this all within the projectile movement data. That so from here we set the owner, set the instigator. I guess we should also reset that in the pool. Um, see. I may have sounded a bit harsh, but I like the game a lot. It's okay to criticize stuff. You can criticize stuff and still like it. So I liked it a lot too. It wasn't a surprise, but I just didn't really know what to expect, and I ended up liking it a lot. transform for now. But yeah, for some reason it's just something is not activating when it needs to. So when we return, I don't know if it's the tick. Let's just see if that will compile. Yeah, it does have a lot of unique things. One thing I wasn't like, I don't know how I feel about it. It annoyed me at some parts, but like the whole fast travel system with the I forget what they're called. You had wake stones and wake shards, and then you had, I can't remember the blue stones that teleport you. But having those and collecting those and finding those, and I remember at the very end of the game when you're in that I guess the destroyed version of the world where it's like really red, I found a bunch of these stones. So basically I think they were pushing you in order to like use them more, because towards that part of the game, you know, I had to just go from one place to the other and didn't really want to walk, or I don't know if they had ox carts at that part of the game. But you know, ox carts were interesting, and what I liked a lot about Dragon's Dogma 2 was nighttime. Like, it was super dark and it made me fucking hate nighttime. And I feel like Crimson Desert is also like that. I'll need to play more to really be sure of that. But not, like, I like that they make night very intimidating. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna have to ask the robots for help, I think. So, complaining about the is-bound check. So let's see if that's true. The first game had budget issues, so it never reached its full potential, but for some reason the second game didn't reach that potential either. I guess Capcom just doesn't like Dragon's Dogma. Well, they should, I think they're supposed to be setting up a DLC, right? Or at least that's the rumor. So maybe Dragon's Dogma 3 in the future? Alright, let's see. We're good. Not good. So it's not that. should work. What else I have to do? Let's try that. Let's do what the computer says and log it. Heyo, thanks for the follow, Dankar24X, much appreciated. How you doing? I still also have to play Pragmata. I want to check that out. Maybe there'll be a sale for the summer sale, so I can pick that up. Yeah, I'm slowly making through my backlog of stuff. Definitely a lot of games I don't have that I should probably add to my wish list. You can get the whole Gears of War franchise sale? Goddamn. Oh, I ate too much for dinner. I'm suffering from success. Watch some of Electric Underground's review of Pragmata. What'd they say? So collision enabled 0. It's not good. Is it supposed to be 0? It's supposed to be 1. Let's see. It doesn't seem to like it. Well, shit. I can imagine maybe that gimmick could be tiresome after a while, but at least it's something new. Oh, maybe when it's not an override. Maybe that's okay. Let's see. So we definitely didn't get to damage today, but I think we managed to get a lot done. We got the homing in. We're going to have to refactor it to support an array, I think. An array of options, but it's okay. If we can make this work, then I think we'll be in a good state to move on to damage. And then when we can get damage to work, then we'll look into the AoE classes. Then we can work on setting up the enemies to use it. And then we should be able to profile a bit. So, moment of truth. Ah! Nope. Damn it. So maybe this is a problem. One last try. And if this doesn't work, yeah, we'll have to pick this up on Thursday. Which, you know, no big deal, but we'll have to see. The main criticism I took from his review is that the hacking and shooting parts of the game aren't mixed together very well. I mean, that's the main mechanic, so if it's not mixed together, well, then that's not good. Ah! Well, something. Maybe it's the tick. This is the last try, I swear. Moment of truth, gang. One. Ah! Nope. So what is it? What is it about this? Fuck it. One more guess. So we're gonna just do and double check the projectile movement component. Me? That checks out. Well, I would imagine it would work fine, right? Okay. Last thing, last trick. Gatekeeper's in early access now. It's priced fairly well too. Gatekeeper. That sounds familiar. Let's look. Oh yeah. I'm so fucking down for this. Gotta get it now. Thanks for the heads up on that one. But looks like I can't pay for it yet. Something is not adding. We're adding the component, adding a dynamic. Man, something's not adding up. So we'll have to pick this up next time. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's super appreciated. Talos, thanks for chatting with me. And thank you, Dankar, for the follow here on Twitch. If you are watching but aren't following me here on Twitch, make sure to set up a follow. And if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, definitely check me out. Not many people watching today, so we won't raid anybody. So enjoy your rest of your night. I'll see you soon. Hopefully on Thursday. We'll see. But until then, have a good one.